Porn addictions are real, bro. For real, for real. They are real. And you've probably like, if you're watching this, you probably like busted over 1,000 nuts by yourself, right? Like, it's crazy how like let's just say you're 25 and you're like been busting nuts by yourself, but you're like 12, 13, right? You probably busted way over 1,000, probably more like 5, 10,000 nuts, right? It's a lot of nuts. But I had a thought the other day, and it was just like, this will help you get over it in the long term, right? And it's not like a nightly, like overnight fix. Okay, you're probably gonna bust a few more nuts before you can like finally eradicate this addiction out of your life. But it is basically just to think of it as a scale. Okay, so let's just say I got a pen here. So this is your porn addiction. So you got, on this scale, it's like one of those like little tilting scales, right? You've got 1,000 pebbles on this side, right? This represents the 1,000 times you've busted nuts, right? Or like the energy in that. And over here, you say no to wanting to watch porn or masturbating in general, right? So right now your scale is like this, like this is very, very light. You've hardly said no, and there's like 1,000 times you've like continued to act, right? What you want to do is, in your mind, say no way more than you actually do the act. So this is what I say when it's like not a like overnight thing. It will be a process that eventually would eradicate for the rest of your life, but you need to kind of like train yourself. You need to condition yourself, because really realistically, what happens overnight? Nothing. You can't build a six-pack body, a six-pack and a bodybuilder's physique overnight. It takes a process, right? You can't build a business overnight. It takes a process. You can't fall in love or have a marriage or have kids overnight. It takes a process. The same with this. There's no reason why I wouldn't be with this. So don't start thinking that, oh, this YouTuber says I just changed my identity and all of a sudden like I'm not watching porn anymore. No, you're still a wanker deep down. Like you think all that years of masturbating, like think about the time you've totted up masturbating, right? It's probably like you've probably spent about 8 months of your entire life, maybe like 6 months of your entire life, 24-hour days, just stroking your dick. Like, it's mental, bro. Like, especially if you're doing it for like a decade plus, it's mental, bro. So going back to this scale, right? You got 1,000 plus 5,000 times, 10,000 times over on this side. Not once like have you said no, right? If you did say no, you probably went home and did it later and anyway, right? So the thing is though, on this side, every time you say no, it's not just one pebble that you're putting there. It's more like you're putting on like 10 to 50 pebbles. Because each time you actually say no and actually mean it and don't do it, for the day, for the next few days or whatever, for the week, whatever, you're really building strength in your mind's ability to stop you from negative habits and stop you from these like destructive habits that continue to wreck your life, give you erectile dysfunction, allow you to have low testosterone, makes you not want to go out of your house and meet girls for in real life, and you end up poor, alone, sad, and die alone. That's not what you want, is it? Eventually, right, go back to this scale, you put one no on, two no's on, three no's on. All of a sudden, like I said, each no weighs like 20 stones, for example, and you got 1,000 on this side. You said no 5 times, but you're like, actually you're at 100 stones by now. You say no 10 times, you're at like 100 stones, right? And the more, or 200 stones, sorry. The more you say no, it's a process of conditioning, right? The more you say no, the more it will actually take an effect on you. And then there will come a point where you've got, you can't change whatever's on this side, right? Let's get the pen up again. You can't change whatever's on this side. This is here now. It's been there, right? You're still adding on to this side, in fact, like 1,001, 5,003, 5,005, right? You'll keep adding this side because you're still in that process phase. But one day you've said no enough, right? You've said no probably like 500 times or 200 times or 100 times. It doesn't matter. Like there will be a day when it comes like you've built up enough mental resilience in your mind where the scale's not like this anymore with like all this porn here and like you saying no there. it's more like level and level, right? And then at that point, what will happen is when you say no the next time, all of a sudden the no's weigh more than all the years of the porn trauma that you've been through. And then all of a sudden this is actually lighter and it's easier to say no to. And so you just say no again, no again, no again. This, don't get me wrong, this is still here. Like all the 5,000 things are still there, right? But this has more weight now. Your mind's ability to refuse things has more weight. You have more control of your mind. And now all of a sudden, you can be deep into the nose and never, like once you get past that point, you will never want to watch it again, because like you would just train yourself through conditioning that it's not going to happen. It's not worth it. I don't want that type of life. I've been there before. I've spent all this process. Got so many more justifications. I don't know why I said it like that. You got so many more justifications of saying no now that you can just keep saying no, rather than before you had no justifications to say no. So you just kept on doing the same destructive habit, right? Do you see how this works now? This is serious. This is serious stuff. The amount of people who have ED, erectile dysfunction, like who have porn addictions, young kids. Like I remember watching porn when I was like, I don't know, like probably like 8 years old, bro. I'm not even joking. And yeah, it's just fucked. Like it's just in society now. It's everywhere. Like I've actually deleted Instagram and Facebook. It wasn't really on Facebook, but like Instagram, that's just like softcore porn, realistically. TikTok, that I never really had it, but like I downloaded it a few times and it was just like girls on there and then like other things, but then like, girls come up and it's just like, oh, this is gross, man. And so I delete that as well. Clear your mind and of all these different things. Like I said, over this process, it will probably still creep up and you'll have like episodes when you like go through it again and then you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, I feel shame, whatever. But after watching this video, you should have more of an understanding of how just conditioning in general will work for you. And you can still bust your nuts, like I said. But remember, the day will come when you can truly, truly say no forever. Because you've built so much mental resilience on the side of the no, that the side of the porn trauma has no more effect on you, and you can just live your life. You can meet women out there. You can actually have real life relationships with a lot of women if you want, and it's all possible on the other side of your like the things that are holding you back, debilitating you. And I know you can do it. It's just a matter of saying no enough and you will get there. So I hope this helped, and I'll catch you in the next video.